Hey guys, how you doing? How's your weekend going? Okay, I'm going to do the daily tactics on chess.com as well as the rush. What is this? Learning. This is new. Learning and rush. Solve as many puzzles as you can in 5 minutes. Each puzzle, blah blah. And learning. That's the learning thing that I've never tried. What is this? Learning. Practice them themes to improve pattern recognition. Retry puzzles you missed. No clock, no pressure. Is there a limit per day also? Let's try. Start. What is this learning thing? Check. If he takes, there was queen takes bishop with mate. No limit here? Interesting. I didn't know this. Rook takes queen. And just this. Okay, cool. I might do this after the puzzle rush. So I will do the puzzle rush and then I will come here and see if I can do that. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know this learn thing. It's good that maybe they included that to, you know, after people complaining only one per day, terrible. Okay, let's go do the rush, the proper rush. There we go. Goal 30 as usual. Let's see my friends. Damafe has 32 today. Chess with Chris 23. Nima Mima 22. E double 14. 32 Damafe. Oofda. It's gonna be tough. Okay, let's go. Roar. There, that's a free queen. That's a free queen. That has to be something. That's a free queen. That's a checkmate. I'm white, so this is a checkmate. Here I'm white, so this is a checkmate. I'm black, and this, nope. Queen takes c2 is tempting. Yes. Okay. It was easier than I did. This check seems annoying. Oh, that was checkmate. Then I was pinned. Check and mate. I'm so slow. I'm white here. That knight seems trapped, but the king is like checkmated. And take the bishop, simply. Check. F5, knight takes h5 also. Knight takes h5 is tempting, but is that winning? Queen g5 then, and then double rooks. After king h7, queen g5, then double rooks. Okay, the puzzle could have kept going on. And how do I promote there? Okay. Wow, isn't this winning on the spot? Well, that was easier than previous ones. Queen h4 seems crashing. Oh no, we're in check. Okay, moving the king is not good. So or maybe it is. Here. Take, check here. That is pinned, but the knight is defending g3. This is really tempting. But we have a problem with c4, don't we? Why don't we just take this? It's the easiest. Okay, it's a checkmate threat, so either we checkmate first, and we might checkmate him, or take the queen. Oh no, the knight is there. Check. Oh, this is tough. I had to do something. What? Oh, knight b5. Oh, I mean, knight g4. Okay, never mind. Oof, that. I'm tilting here. And also I lost a lot of time, so... yeah, whatever. Okay, let's go to the tactics. Wait, let me try again this learning thing. Puzzle rush. Hey, Malek. I know, but can I do learning? Yes, I can do learning. I didn't know this part of chess.com. It's cool because you can practice puzzles like this, not so tough puzzles, and it's cool. Isn't black in Suxvan? Hey, Sphinxy. Well, I can also take en passant, nothing wrong with that. Well. Oh, there's a limit also in this. Ah, come on, chess.com. There's a limit in this too. 3 per day? Okay, then let's do the tactics. Oh, it was 5 because I did 2 and then I did 3. So that was 5. Oh no, you're kidding me. No, you're kidding me. The easy tactics on the learning section counted for the 5 tactics per day I have. Good one, chess.com. This is the shortest stream ever on chess.com tactics. 13 minutes. Well played. This is why this page sucks. Try Lichess. Yeah, but I wanted to do these tactics. Yeah, I don't know what to do now. Yeah, Lichess is a different thing. Lichess requires me to... You look not happy. I'm not happy right now. I'm not happy, Bush. I wanted to play my 5 tactics, and chess.com wouldn't allow me because yeah, okay, whatever. I know chess tempo, blitz tactics, Lichess. I can try any of those. It's just that I wanted this. So give me a minute. Give me a minute to decide what to do. I'm not sure if I want to do tactics, because honestly, on Sundays are usually my learning days. And if you check streams I did on Sunday lately, I stream a lot of things but chess. So I might change to something else. I think I'm really tired of chess. So either I change or I do tactics on Lichess. That's the other option. Doing tactics on Lichess. Okay, let's switch to Lichess. Let's switch to Lichess. Come on. It's okay, Pepe. It's okay. Let's keep doing the tactics stream. I'm gonna change the title though. Title tactics on lichess.org. So I'm gonna do tactics basically because I just brought my coffee here. So I have coffee, not beer, right now. So let's do tactics. I remember you did some coding session. Let's do 2 code words and do some chess theme katas. Oh, that's a cool idea, Malik. That's a cool idea. Okay, let's do that. Why not? So, I need to go to the dashboard and change not just the title of the stream, but also the game. Let me see if I can do it from the chat. Title, chess coding on code wars dot which language? Anyone. Yeah, JavaScript is okay. Code wars is codewars.com. It's been a while since I don't enter code wars. Codewars.com. So chess coding, let's call it chess coding. Chess coding on codewars.com. And now I need to change the game. I think game is chess now. Let's say game is coding or code. I think coding. Please no Bookhouse or something like that. I won't play Bookhouse. I also stopped when the katas become way too abstract. Okay, so let me fix the layout for you. 1 second. 1 second. Full width. That's okay. I think I'm going to do my face a little bit smaller. My face is going to be a little bit smaller. And I'm going to show the full width of the web page. And let's see if I can show. Okay, so how do we find some katas on chess? Is there any way to find katas? Okay, let's go here to kata. Oh, I can search by term. So let's search chess. Let's start with an easy one to try, like the easiest one, just to try if I can show everything right and if I don't have performance issues. So I have some 7Q level katas there. A lot of 6. What is that? Oh, this is Sphinxy. I'm a software developer, all right? So I'm a coder, and this is a place to code, basically, to solve different problems. We call them katas because they're easy problems to solve coding in any language. Well, not in any, but in many languages. So you pick a problem, you pick a language, you solve it here in the same website. So I'm gonna take some chess related ones. And as you can see, there are problems about chess piece values, whose turn is it, chess bishop dream. This is a 5Q, so that's high, well, not so higher level, but higher than 6 or 7. I'm gonna start with a 7, I think, or a 6. Valid chess moves. Let's start with, okay, I see 1.7 here called chessboard, and it's JavaScript, so I'm gonna start with that one and see if my layout is correct for this. I already clicked CodeWars, the web page. Sometimes it goes slow, and I'm worried that with the stream and so it goes even slower. Because I think the other time the other stream I did something on CodeWars, it got really slow. But okay, let's see. Okay, so we have the description here. You can see my code here. What you cannot see is my sample tests that are down here, and I don't have a scroll. So how can I fix this for you? Need to change my layout somehow. Hey King, this is your last day on Twitch. How's that? Are they already written, or are you gonna write them by yourself? There are a couple of them, a couple of tests for 5x5 and 11x11. But yeah, I usually write more tests. I usually do TDD. I'm just trying to come up with a good layout to show you this. Because you cannot see the tests. You can probably not read properly the code. Is it too small? Is it too small, or you can read the code if I write here? I'm not sure. Maybe I add a new layout here to show the tests. Perpetual, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Perpetual? How do I show this? Sorry guys, give me a second. I have a problem with my streaming software here. If I do this smaller, this is probably gonna crash, because every time I do this on the stream, it crashes. Oh no. I'm changing my mind now. If I do this, the code is gonna be even smaller. So instead, I will add a new layer for you. Capture, screen capture. From there, now I'm gonna crop down. I'm gonna crop it, and this one is so you can see the tests. Right, bottom, top, and left. Left here, and this goes here. Okay, so here's the thing. At some point I will show the tests, and at some point I will hide the tests. So I'm gonna try to be playing with that. So whenever I'm writing tests, I'm gonna show this to you so you can see the tests. And whenever I want to hide the tests, I'm gonna do this to you. Let's see if this way we can work with it. So let's solve this one. Write a function that creates a string. that represents an 8 per 8 grid using new line characters to separate lines. At each position of the grid, there is either a space or a sharp character. Black is sharp. Black always starts top left. Black is a black square. Okay. Characters should form a chessboard. Build your string here, must return the chessboard string at the end, and you have the size. Okay, not a very complex function to start with. When you have a program that generates this pattern, define a variable size equals 8 and change the program so that it works for any size, outputting a grid of the given width and height. Okay, this is a hint for newbies, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna show you the tests now. I guess you can see them. I'm gonna rewrite them, I think. A little. Okay, we have this is Mocha or Jasmine, probably Jasmine, because it has describes and needs. And okay, equals port 5 should be this string. That's weird. They want to represent a grid as a string, but whatever. Yeah, whatever. Exactly. Okay, I want to just. I like when my tests can be read clearly, and in this case, because of representing things with strings, I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna do this. And the 11, I probably don't do it, but yeah, just to show the board. Okay, and then 11, and of course, if I run the tests somewhere, I should have a button. I think it's not. This is to run the tests. Okay, I'm gonna hide the test now. Hey Bush, have a great night. I'm gonna focus on chess instead of JavaScript. I have already enough coding to analyze during work hours. Enjoy your programming and see you next time. Okay, see you. Yeah, okay, and we're returning undefined, of course. So let's write some code here. How do we do it? It's been a while since I don't code in JavaScript. We have a lot of functions to do funny things like repeating stuff. So, okay. Like we have a times function for strings in JavaScript. I can't remember. I don't want to do this procedural. Do we have a times function? Or that's only in Ruby? Anyway, I guess the easiest would be something like having the pattern somewhere, and yeah, you write a loop there. But I wanted like to have a pattern. Oh, but the pattern has to be of a specific size. Yeah, and then I wanted to substring it, but no, that's stupid. Hard to write code in Twitch chat. Yeah. I didn't want to do it procedural. That's the problem. Oh, I can do it recursive. I can do recursion there. No, that would be too tough. How do you do the times function? And also, what is for size 1? What is for size 1? Let me write that test. So it always starts with black. So for size 1, it's just a black, right? This has to be size 1. and size2. I won't do TDD with this problem. Size2 is, you can see the test, yeah. Size2 is this plus this. All right. I have a mistake here. In line number 6. What? Invalid or unexpected token? Whoa. Give me a second. So you see the file here. In line number 6, return. Oh, it's in the code. Sorry, it's in the code. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, let's pass one of the tests. Yeah. Okay. So you want to do a loop? Okay, let's do a loop. Whatever. Pro equals let's do it properly. No, let's do it properly. Okay, do you know the times function? Do we have something like that in JavaScript? I bet we have something like that. Hey John, your one weakness code? How's that? Can I do this? You need to explain me, what do you mean? For now, JS is my only line. What do you mean? Ah, you know, I wanted to do it functional, not procedural. You know, I didn't want to use a loop. Yeah, the times function I wanted. I'm just gonna lurk. I have an American friend who usually only streams like 4 a.m. at night for me. Okay. All right, and oh yeah, I have the join function. Oh wait, I have the join function. I could use that. Maybe I could use that. Or, well, let's calculate the row and then let's return. Oh, I need to create an array. I need the times function again. No. Okay, let's do another loop. Let's do the crappiest code ever. And there is for each. Yeah, for each, for example. but I want to use map. Oh, I could use with map maybe. Map. But I need an original structure. Oh, I can create an array. Okay, I'll go there. I will change this to a functional solution. For now, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, actually, this should be a space first of all, and second. I'm putting the wrong rows. So actually, let's, yeah, I think yeah, to do it procedural, I prefer your way, Malek. Yes. Yeah. Instead of computing the row, because the row is not, it's gonna change, unless. No, I'm gonna do it functional. Okay, I changed my mind. Array. Can I do this? Type. Is this what I want? Or can I do a new array? I think I can do a new array. Ah, no, what I wanted was apply. Yes, apply. I just, yeah. All right. Now this is going to be funny, what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to have some fun with the code. So far I'm going to return an array. It's a pity that the tests don't show the value I'm returning. So I'm going to do something like this. Var result. I'm going to do console log result, and I'm going to do return result. Yeah, so I have checking the color of 3. Oh, the tests are randomly. Oh no, these are not my tests. Oh, I was using the wrong. Okay, these are my tests. I was using the wrong the wrong keys, and I was running the production tests. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I have that array. I want to map each value to the proper value. For the moment, I'm gonna keep the undefined. Yes, and finally I will join using a break line, a line break. But given how it is, I will need to add an additional line break or break line, line break. Okay, now the mapping thing. The mapping thing is to map every row And that's very similar to this, because every row will be at the same time an array of something that will be joined by spaces, maybe, or empty. Yeah, let's say empty. And okay, well, if I add this here, I can just save it here. I'm having fun here. I need to map each element to I need an index. Can I have an index here? Probably. Let's see if this is the index. It was the index. So I can do this. All right. I just need to change when it's I need to use the index here too. Something like this. And all tests pass now. Of course. This is what I wanted to do. Something like this. And of course, E equals -1. Yes, that's E. That's I, John. You're right. Okay, so I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna refactor so that it makes some sense or not. We'll see. Let's put names to the things, or not. It's case sensitive, so you need to be aware of this. I was thinking to do something else. What was it? Well, I could have escaped this, but you know what? This puzzle is. I didn't like it, so let's move on to another one. It worked. It worked. The setup for the stream. So let's move to a nice puzzle instead. Solutions have been withheld since you have not solved this kata. What? I just solved it. Okay, never mind. That was level 7. Let's do a level 6 now. Related to chess. Playing on a chessboard. Oh, but I already did this. You have already solved this kata. Okay. A missing number on the chessboard. Possible rook moves. The queen on the chessboard. Okay, queen seems richer than rooks. So let's go for this one. The queen on the chessboard. The queen can be moved any number of unoccupied squares in a straight line, vertically or horizontally or diagonally, thus combining the moves of the rook and bishop. The queen captures by occupying. Task. Write a function. Way pretty annoying. I was passing like 112 out of 113 tests all the time. Remember one annoying kata with knight reaching specific square in the shortest way. Oh, okay. Write a function available moves position, which returns possibly moves of chess queen. Return value should be an array with possible moves sorted alphabetically. Excluded starting position. For example, one input position is A1. return value should be all the destination squares. Okay, so alphabetically excluded the starting position. So from A1 it can go to A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, B1, B2, C1, C3, D1, alphabetically of course, yeah. So I can do a set of all the squares, and yeah, I see two ways to do it. Either I calculate the destinations and then I sort them, you know, I add the horizontal, the vertical, and the two diagonals, or alternatively I can have the list of all the squares already alphabetical, and I can go each of one and say, can the queen come here? If yes, I keep it on the list. If not, I don't. And I actually like this one because I can use a filter function for this one, for this approach. Yeah, although having all the squares, maybe I want to create a function to have all the squares in the list, or do I create a structure with the 64 type in them? What else do we have? Input. Input position can be any type: array, number, string, and so on. What? Input is A1, so it has to be a string, right? Oh no, it can be anything. Just the result has to be empty. Okay. If input position is not a string, then return empty array. I'm reading this in a place you cannot see. In the bottom of the page. Valid input position is one letter from A to H with number from 1 to 8. For example, blah, blah, blah. If input is invalid, return empty array again. All right. So let's go to the tests. We have some tests already. Fixed tests, blah, 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 blah. And then it runs all the cases. Input is actual queen position and the board is empty. Yes, Malek. And we have some cases there. But I think I'm going to do simpler tests first. So, okay, my approach is going to be to have the 64 values already sorted alphabetically, and then I'm going to filter that list with only the squares that the queen can reach. So I'm going to use a filter with a function that will tell, can the queen come here from there? That's what I'm going to do. For example, if the two positions have the same letter, the answer is yes. If they have the same number, the answer is yes. And then for the diagonals, I would come up with something. Yeah, probably the difference has to be the same between numbers and letters. Okay. So let's first create our list of sorted actually, why don't I just take this E, F, G, and H, and it has to be alphabetically, so it's going to be A1, A2, A3, and after A8 it has to be B1. Oh, I have a notification. What was that? 1 second. A friend request. Ooh. All right. Here I am. Return that map. Am I gonna do map here? Is that what I want to do? Yes, I think so. So I'm going to map everyone to how to do this without map, create an array. Okay. No, okay, that was stupid. Let's do this. Um, something like this. And then I have an array of, oh, I should, okay, at least I have a good, let me hide this. At least I have good feedback here on what the value I have. And yeah, I have what I wanted. Now I need to join them. So they belong to the same array. Oh, but join is not the function. Join does a different thing. Join joins strings. How do you join arrays? How do you join arrays in JavaScript? I can use a map function here also. No, it's not what I want. Use index. What is index? I believe you can use join. I don't think I can use join. Let me try. Trying is free. Yeah, the problem is, yeah, I have a string with join. That's what I wanted to avoid. But okay, I have the right string. That's true. I just wanted it to be an array, but I can do it with split by commas then. Okay, so okay, that was one way. That was one way. And I have my list, and I want to filter this list according to the original position. So I have filter, and okay, this is position. I'm gonna call it queen, and I'm gonna call this destination. I should start using proper words so that the code can be read. One second, I need to check something. Okay, that's it. Perfect. So can the queen go to the destination? Well, if the letter is the same, or the number is the same, so I'm gonna put it like it. So far it's a rook. So far it is a rook. Cannot read property 0 of null. What happened there? Oh, well, first of all, this is wrong. And second, why do I have a null there? Why do I have a null destination? Let me see what do we have before the filter. Oh, maybe there's some scenario where it is null. Yeah, I'm also bad at functional programming. That's why I try to. Oh yeah, there's an input that is null. So I should test the edge cases first if I want to use these tests. Okay, let's say I'm gonna run a function on queen that will tell me if I have to return an empty thing or what we're trying to calculate. Can I do this? Yes. And that function will tell me whether it is valid or not, the input. So the input has to be distinct from null. The input has to be a string, I think. So distinct from null has to be a string. How do you do that in JavaScript? Well, I'm gonna say length has to be defined and length has to be 2, and the first character has to be greater than a. You can use type of, oh yes, type, how is that? Type of this should be equals to, is a string, string. I don't know if type of is used like this. So from A to H, and the second has to be from 1 to 8. And I think I have all the conditions. I think I have them all. JavaScript type of, let me see, type of string actually is what I want to see. Oh yes, it's how I did it. It's type of operand, and then it's a string called string. I could use the 3, yeah, this instead of the 2, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I have all the conditions here that the input has to meet. So I pass queen to check them all, and I have this the other way around. So if I want to put the escape clause first, I need to change all this. Not sure. I think this is a very positive way to say things. I like it this way. So, but on the other hand, I think I like this first also. So okay, let's do it. Let's put all the escape conditions instead of that. Okay. Distinct equals and distinct. Okay. So I have all the escape clauses there, and then if not, I'm gonna return something that I'm about to see. What do we have before filtering? Okay, now all the cases of invalid inputs are working. Okay, so now I need to filter this list. If I filter with rook moves, my list is going to be shorter than it has to be. Because from A1, I think the first case is from A1, I'm missing the diagonal. For example, B2. B2 is here, and it's not in my solution because I don't have the diagonals. So let's do the check for a diagonal. Can I subtract characters in JavaScript, or should I use the ASCII value of the characters to do a subtraction? Because I think what I need to check is that the difference in the first character is equals to the difference in the second. You can, okay. I don't know how it works. I mean, JavaScript is such a black magic language sometimes. Okay, what I conceptually want to do is this. Destination 1 minus queen 1. Let's put some parentheses in here. Has to be equals to destination 0 minus queen 0. And then with the other diagonal. Substring was the method. Oh, no, I'm not meaning substringing. I mean subtraction. I mean the mathematical operation. You better be programming John John a girlfriend right now. Whoa, what happens, John John? You need a girlfriend? I don't think this is gonna work. I don't believe in this. But okay, let's try. Let's see what does this filter. I have the same list, right? Yeah, exactly the same list. It is Valentine's Day soon. Yeah, it's on Thursday, right? I'm preparing my gift for that special day. But don't know what to say. A5, B5. Yeah, exactly. I have to use ASCII values, and that's what I didn't want to do. I think you have a .ort function, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe it's ort, and let me try if this doesn't break. This breaks, so it's not a function. So maybe it's just ort of that. Or it is not defined, so I don't know how it is. Oh, char value, something like that. Char code at. Oh, but it's from a string, so I can use it without. Okay. So, oh, no, that parenthesis was good. So instead of this, it should be .char code at, and this. Mirny Chess, thanks for the follow. We're not doing chess now. We're not doing chess right now. Has to be equals Are you a hacker? No, I'm just a software developer. I should work on an extension. I think it should be funnier than doing these katas in Code Wars. Okay, now I have B2. Now I have B2 finally. And I have C3, and I have D4, E5, F6, G7, and H8. So my question is, why isn't this a solution? Let me check. Oh, because the queen, where the queen is, of course. We need to exclude the position of the queen. So queen must be different from destination. And then the rest. Can I write this in a better way? These conditions. Come on. Queen distinct from destination and blah or blah or blah or blah. Okay, and now I need to do the other diagonal. Now I need to do the other diagonal, which is going to be very easy, right? Because I'm not even going to think how it is. I'm going to just try to reverse the sign of one of the values, and I'm going to bet on that working. You know, that's how you code. Yeah. All right, the code is not so dark, I think, but we can probably improve it. Although I like the solution, I like how we do it, how we did it. Maybe this part around here is a little bit dark. Yeah, maybe I need to start putting some. I wish I could understand functional programming as good as you do. I don't know. I'm not so good at it. I just like the way when you think about from a functional point of view, you know, some problems like this, coordinates, operations, I think they're better expressed in a functional way. Like, for example, this part around here, I like this part a lot. When, okay, we need a function to determine whether the input is valid or not. And I like this way when you can put every condition in one line and it's pretty clear to read. So I like this part of functional programming. But yeah, some other parts, I don't like how I did it. Can you suggest any book or resources to learn? Oh, there are several. Yeah. I don't know. I think everything. Well, as you can see, I don't have the vocabulary in JavaScript to do functional programming. I have to Google sometimes. But yeah, in general, I think I've read one book once called Functional Programming. It was like that. That was a good book. And it was recommended by Brian Marek. I went to a Brian Marek workshop once on functional programming, and he recommended that book. So I bought that book. And can't remember. It was a very slim book, though. But I can't remember the author. The title is just Functional Programming. But I think practice is key. And where I practice it most is either here on Code Wars or in my job. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was called. Give me a second. Maybe I have the book around here. One sec. Okay, no. 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 Yeah, I have some boxes there full of books I'm packing, and I thought I might have the book there, but maybe it's in the bottom of some box, so no. Most of the time doing pretty boring stuff related to mostly to code, CSS, and maintainable code structure. That's cool. Don't have many questions to do some serious JS programming. Oh, then you might. Okay, one idea is to do some pet project. I don't know. I like to do games, for example. That gives me the chance usually to do serious programming, right, Fito? You have Chessbra merch? Yeah, I have some. Not here right now. Hey! What are you coding today? A game? No, not a game. We're doing some katas here on Code Wars. And we've solved this. Yeah, but work is 8 hours per day. Yeah, I know. I know the feeling. I don't have extra time either. But I was thinking about that today. I really want, like, in the early future to have more time to do an open source project and probably stream when I code it. And it will be a game, I'm sure. And maybe I get people involved, like some designers or whatever. I think that's a good idea. So the easiest for me would be to switch and stop streaming some chess and start streaming some coding instead, just to use the same time I already used to stream. But then some people will get mad at me to not do chess. So yeah, it's tough. I would like to help, but I'm not sure if I would be able to. Well, you know, the good thing about open source projects is I'm coding for like a year. Okay. The good thing about open source is you have the project there on GitHub, and as a maintainer I would create issues, update, keep the stuff up to date, and anyone can contribute, even if it's just a small, very small issue, and once per month, it's okay. But yeah, I have this idea, and I think I will do something like that in the near future. Maybe after the chess league ends, because now most of my free time I use it to study chess. Okay, can we put this a little bit better? Like, I like this part, okay. This is a little obscure to me. So I'm gonna hide it somewhere. For example, here I used some stuff. So the letter is the column, and the number is the row, right? That's how chess works. So let's do this. Sometimes just putting names improves the readability of the code. And okay, all of this is just to create the board. So this is the board. So I'm gonna do a very funny thing. Well, very funny thing. First, I'm gonna use convert this function into a functional definition. Like, it's gonna be a var or even a const. And given a queen, we're gonna return this, right? Blah 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 blah. And that's it. So this is already functional. And now I'm gonna do something funny. So let's practice more. I'm gonna try to improve the readability of this by also practicing some functional programming here. I like to improve especially this obscure part of the board definition. This part where I'm using these long words like destination makes the code so long in this part. So this function here is to validate an input, so to check for valid input. So I'm gonna do something funny, which is I'm gonna wrap everything in a function from here to the bottom. That is wrapped in a function that, given something, in this case the queen, let's say, or not, given an how to do this? Okay, given nothing, it's a function that just returns this, and in the end I'm gonna pass as parameters nothing. All right, so the code should still work if I didn't break anything, but instead of running this code, what I'm saying is, okay, I create a function that returns that, and I'm gonna invoke it with no parameters. Now I can pass some parameters here. For example, a function to check validity. So let's call that check is valid input, is valid inputs. IIFE? What do you mean? So the first parameter is going to be is valid inputs, for example, and what I'm going to pass is this function over here. Immediately invoked function expression. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's the function. It should be applied to. Okay, this way should work, but I'm gonna remove some parentheses. I'm gonna remove this and this parentheses and put this here. Okay, so yeah, this is funny because without declaring variables or doing some other procedural stuff, you can actually name things. Like in this case, we have a function and we just named it as isValidInput. Of course, we're using parameters instead of variables to do this. And this way the code can be readable. Like, okay, it's valid input, then actually the name is wrong because what the the function returns true when it's not valid. So okay, let's let's put it right now. But it's invalid input. It's even longer. Oh, terrible. Is wrong input, is invalid. I'm going to say is input wrong. Naming is one of the worst parts in coding. Okay, so is input wrong, then we return empty. Otherwise, I would say instead of all this dark, obscure piece of code, I want to say, give me the board, give me all the squares. So I'm going to put that in a different, let's say all squares, in a different parameter. And these are going to be all the squares. All the squares. And that's going to be another parameter. And of course what I'm doing is like hiding dust below the carpet, right? Like, okay, that piece of code still there, but at least I'm naming it, and I'm separating two levels of abstraction here, so that the first level is readable. And then if you need to go what is actually all squares, you can dive in here. And yeah, this could be still improved, but at least with this, people can understand what the function does without getting lost with details, right? That's what we want to do usually when we code. And what else do we have? Okay, now this is pretty clear. Is the input wrong? Then empty. Otherwise, we have all squares and we're going to filter them. And how are we going to filter them? Well, this is a function that says if a square can be reached by a queen. We can either name this. That's what I will probably do. Or we can also improve this somehow. Yeah, the easiest would be to name this. But I'm thinking that I'm repeating also a lot of stuff here, like this, for example, I'm doing it a lot of times. So I think I'm gonna do another IIFE there for performance purposes in that case. Okay, first I'm gonna name this, I think. Giving a destination, this. A function that given queen and destination returns that. Returns whether the queen can reach that destination or not. That way. Okay, so that function given queen and destination gives us whether queen can go there. So I'm gonna say can go there, queen destination, something like that. Can go there. Okay, code still passing, so I'm not breaking it. That's good. And now probably instead of destination I'm gonna just call it square, because I'm picking all squares and I'm filtering. So actually I'm gonna use this because it's not important to name the, well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I usually use this, but maybe some other people have other conventions. Actually, this is so simple code now that I might put it here in one line. And I think this is very readable anyway. Is input wrong, then empty. Otherwise, I take all the squares and I filter seeing whether the queen can go there or not. Underscore is just a name. Yeah, okay, let's not put underscore, let's put just a square. The only requirement here is that whatever I put here, I have to put it here. It's just a name for the variable. So yeah, let's name it. Let's call it square. We're filtering all the squares, so this is a square definitely. I just use underscore when you would use I, J, K, or just X, or you know, like a name for a temporary variable that you don't really care about naming. But in this case, a square is okay, I guess. So I use that a lot when doing functions. You can see that in this function that I did for a valid input before. I used underscore also. It's like I use that because in some functional languages it actually means that. It means any value. it's actually used for that. Like you don't really care to give a name to that, because whatever you pass me there, I'm gonna check that is null, his type is string, his length is undefined, but you don't care to give a name. Yeah, but okay, in this case I think it's good that we name it square, because here this is the higher abstraction level, and I think it's better to be 100% clear with what is each thing there. So square is fine. Okay, and then we have these three things here: this, and this. And this last one I wanted to improve it a little. Here probably we don't have queen and destination. We have origin and destination, or source and target, or from and to. From and to I like it because they're short words. So I'm gonna refactor this. This is not a high-level editor here, so I'm gonna have to change every of them like this by hand. And instead of destination, I'm gonna put 2. That will make this code a little bit shorter and faster. Maybe not easier, but definitely faster to read. And then there's this char code add stuff that I don't like. Okay, so from to 2, from has to be different from 2, and then either this or that or this or that. Thinking. Well, first of all, you cannot see the whole code there, the full code. All right. Yeah, I wanted to do another immediately invoked function expression here to reuse for performance, actually, because I'm calling this several times. To char code at 1, to char code at 1. Well, twice, only twice, really. Not sure if it's worthy to do that. Is it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's separate this stuff though. On one hand, yes. On the other hand, no. This is tough. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this and invoke it with a couple of things. So this should be still working, okay? And now let's put I can do a funny thing. But nah. I don't like this. I don't like what I'm going to do. So char code at 0. I'm seeing the final code and I'm disliking it. So I just don't like it the same way I don't like this one. So I think I'm gonna leave it like it was. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like it was. Can I do this? Command zeta. It's clear on the top and it works. Yeah, but sometimes, yeah, I mean, this is to practice. This is to practice. I think this way. Maybe I'm missing a parenthesis here. No, I'm okay. Yeah, it's clear on the top and it works, but you know, it's sometimes in code wars I go to way too further in trying to refactor just to practice. I could improve this part also, but yeah, it's clear in the top. You're right. All right, let's send this solution, and we've been doing this for quite a while. I'm not sure whether stop streaming or do another one. Maybe I do another one, because it's starting to be late here. Okay, let's do one more and then I'll stop streaming. So I go to Caras again. And I'm gonna look for a chess one again. And we've done 7, 6, let's do 5. Find the one with the knight. Okay. Chess knight. I only see one with knight, but it's level 7, so it's easy maybe. Let's see if this is the one you say. Maybe it is. Now I'm blocking again. Not this one. Oh, okay. It was like level 4. Oh, okay. So looking for chess knight, I don't find it. So maybe it doesn't have chess in the title. Knight position, shortest knight path. That should be it. That should be it, right? Yeah. All right. So, given two different positions on a chessboard, find the least number of moves it would take a knight to get from one to the other. The positions will be passed as two arguments in algebraic notation. For example, knight a3, b5 should return 1. The knight is not allowed to move off the board. The board is 8 by 8. I'm curious how can it be done with functional approach, because procedural was pain in the ass. Well, it will be more or less the same pain in the ass, I think. Well, basically, if the input is right, I think here they don't say anything about the input. Many of the tests were generated randomly. If any do not work, the test cases will return the input, output, and expected output. Please pause them. Okay. So assuming the input is right, well, a knight can... Good news is the board is very limited, so we're fine there. We can do with recursion or not. Like, for example, let's say we start with... I would do it recursively, probably. Let's say we start with a3, with the knight position. Let's say a3. If the destination is a3, then we return 0. If the destination is any other, we need to create a set with the next possible jumps. In this case, from a3, they would be b5, c4, c2, and that's it, and b1. Recursion seems a smart idea. Well, sometimes not smart. Sometimes it's not, because you need to stop recursion in the proper level. I think the best algorithm for shortest path is to have the set of let's see if I explain it correctly. So you have a starting position, let's say A3. You have this set with only one position, A3, and those are all the squares you can reach in 0 jumps. So from that set, you build the next set with all the possible squares you can reach with one jump, which will be B5, C4, C2, and B1. If one of them is the destination, you return 1. If not, you create the new set of all the possible squares you can reach in 2 jumps. But here is where complexity well, not complexity, but here's when you have to when there's a trick that if you calculate all the squares you can reach in 2 jumps, one of them is going to be A3 from different squares also. Like from B5 you can have A7, C7, blah 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 blah, and A3. So you basically need another set of squares you already explored, because if you already explored them, you don't need to include them in the new sets, and eventually you're gonna get all the squares. And I don't know what's the maximum depth you can reach with 64 squares. What's the longest path? I would bet on 6 or 7. Now, to do this, either I keep passing a parameter or I can't do it with a functional approach. So yeah, it's interesting, because from a functional approach, it can be tricky. It can be tricky. I think dynamic programming, what they call dynamic programming, is the best way to solve this problem, probably. But I can try the way I described it, the way I set the algorithm. I can try this first, and then I might switch to a different approach. We have some tests already written for us: expected 2, expected 3, expected 4, expected 5. So I think I'm gonna write my own tests, because I want expected 1 and expected 0. So let me have a look at these tests. Wow. So night, start, finish, and yeah, okay. So from A1 to C1, they expect 2. Okay, I'm gonna just put each one in one line so that I can read them better, and I can add more cases easier. So let me add some 1, like for example the one in the description, A3 to B5, and from A3 to A3 I will say it's 0. Yeah, okay. I could do if start equals to finish, then return 0, but I'm gonna hide the test now, because I'm not gonna make more tests for the moment. Okay, functional approach from the beginning. I don't want to check whether. Do I want to check that? Maybe I do want. Wow. The algorithm I described is basically a loop. So, it is basically a loop. Starting with a set that is including only the starting point and iterating over that to create new sets. That is a loop. That is a loop. From a functional approach, I can only do loops either with a structure, and I don't know which structure to start with, or with recursion. But I'm not sure if I want recursion here. Okay, maybe I can do recursion, yeah. So I will have a function that is a recursive function. And I will call it with some parameters. So the function is going to receive, I like recursion, yes. Okay, the function is going to receive, this is my approach now. The function is going to receive start, it's going to receive finish, and it's going to receive a set of already explored. Let's call them explored. And the first time I call it, it's going to be, oh no, actually it's going to have, wait. The, not start, but, okay, a target, a set of explored, and a set of, yeah, they call them open and closed in the algorithms theory. This is current squares that we're exploring. Seems clear to me, but maybe I'm underestimating the problem you mentioned a few minutes ago. Underestimating the problem. Oh, that's, yeah, the problem is, I'm gonna deal with the problem with explored set. And yeah, I don't want to call this set exploring. It's like confusing because I have exploring and explored, but it's that. current nodes, current squares, possible squares, we're exploring them. I'm gonna call them current for the moment. So the problem starts, the first call to the recursive function has to be with a set composed of only the starting square. Our target is finish, and we didn't explore any we didn't explore any so far. So that's the first call I'm gonna do to the recursive function, recursion. Okay, and what's the function gonna do? Well, if we have a set of current nodes, like for example A3, if target is included in that set, do we have include function in JavaScript in an array? JavaScript array includes function index of. Oh, we have index of, yeah. I think it's this. But I'm not sure. Okay, so if it's there, then we return. What do we return? We return 0. And otherwise, we do the recursive call where we're gonna return. Include is also available. Oh, that's probably more readable. How is this? Something like this includes, current includes target. This is much more readable. If current includes target, then 0, Otherwise, we need to create the new, we're gonna have to call, how are we gonna call this function if we don't have a name for it? I need to I need to give a name to this function I'm creating. Okay, so let's do it. How do we call this function? Let's call it explore. So this is the explore function. Yeah. I'm doing something wrong here with the parentheses. I'm tilting here. Give me a second, I have a notification here. Facebook, blah, 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 Twitch, blah, blah, blah. Nothing important, okay. What's the parent description that you need to solve for this one? I just arrived. Okay, let me show the description here. Given two positions in a chessboard, we need to find the shortest path for a knight to go from one to the other. But we're trying a functional recursion approach here to solve it. So let me do this right. So I'm gonna define the function here. That's perfect. That's gonna be our first parameter there, the explore function. And given the explore function, I'm gonna return explore. Yeah, no problem, Metal. I'm gonna start exploring with this set we set, with this target, and no one has been explored. Okay. And that's perfect. So still cannot use the name, right? This is the problem with mixing paradigms. This is the problem with mixing paradigms. I cannot do this with recursion. Can I? I'm gonna have to do this, Malek. I'm gonna have to define two functions, the recursive one and the function knight. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. That's the only way that I have the explore name from inside the explore function. But in that case, I don't need to do this. I can just do this. So maybe let's change approach. No, I still want to do the recursion thing. I like it. Actually, I can do this. I can do a const function knight, the one that solves the problem, and like this, you know? And then all the problem, we're gonna solve it here, inside here. So the knight function that solves the problem is just an interface to access the real recursion. It's just a translator from this problem we're given to the proper way to input our recursion function. I'll take that. I'll take that and keep doing this. So we're gonna do a recursive call here. Well, first, no, not first. Yeah, we're gonna do a recursive, is that right? Is that proper English? We're gonna do this call here to explore. Now current we need to calculate. Target is gonna be the same, of course. So target is the only thing that remains because both explored and current changes. So for example, we start with A3, with a set that contains A3. The next set is going to contain B5, yes, A3, yeah, B5, C4, C2, and B1. It will contain from 2 to 8 new squares. So what I'm gonna do is map current map every square in current to all the squares that can reach from it. Wow. Is this the best way to do it? Just keep wondering that. Okay, I'll do it. So from every square, all the destinations. Ah, I know what's the problem here. Some mathematical formula here would be nice. We can do it. Yeah. Okay, in this case our set is simple because we have A3, but let's say in the next step, when we have that current has several squares, and we will have both B5 and C4, for example, then when we map from B5, we're going to have a jump to B5 and C4. From B5 we will have a jump to D6, but from C4 we will have a jump to D6 too. So then we need to remove duplications. That's the other problem we will have. Not just the explored problem, but also the duplicates. But I guess we have a function for that, right? For uniqueness. Oh, I know how to do that. I know a trick to do that. Okay, so let's first map from current you can simply create set. Oh, but then I would need to code a set in JavaScript. I wanted to just use the basic types like the array, but I have a trick for that. You can filter an array. You use the function filter, and the filter function. Oh, there are sets in JavaScript. Okay, okay, so I can use a set. No, I was thinking the trick is to remove duplicates is to filter the array, and the function that filters is you check if the index is equals to in the collection doing index of the element, and that will be true only for the first occurrence of each element, and it will be false for any duplicated. But okay, we'll get there. First I'm gonna create map from a position to all the destination squares, and this is where the mathematical function, right, from A3, for example. Okay, I'm gonna keep it like this, and I'm gonna start doing TDD because I need some parts to be built first. I need some parts to be built first. So okay, so far I have syntax error. Yes, here there's an empty. Let's keep it like that. And again, a syntax error. Yes. No. Wait. Okay. All right, maximum call stack exceeded because this is a recursion that never ends. So I'll get there in a second. Let me write some more basic tests. So I'll not run those tests. First, I'm gonna do a part. For example, let's say we create a function that is sorry, I have a problem with my voice right now. Let's say we do something that destinations. I mean, this function is called night, the other is explore. Let's do one that is called destinations. Jumps. Jumps would be a funny name. Let's do jumps. Jumps from A3. Verify that's equals to B5, C4, C2, and C2 and should we do this in alphabetical order? Because I can do it using I can do it using the previous kata, right? Okay, C2 and B1, yes. So I'm gonna create that function jumps, but I'm gonna do some other set of stuff. Okay, well, this is. I'm gonna copy that idea and do a for or not. Let's say not. This can be in a single line. And let's do, for example, from a corner like A1, you can jump only to 2 squares. So from A1 you can jump to B3 or C2. From B1, which is almost a corner, you can jump to 3 squares. A3, C3 or D2. And then we have A3, where you can jump to 4 squares. Then the next would be 6. There's no way you can only jump to 5, right? If you can jump to 5, you can jump to 6. I'm thinking now. So if you can jump to 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's no way you can jump to 5. So the next is 6. And for 6, let's use, for example, F3. No, G3. Let's use G3. From G3, you can jump to F1, H1, well, I should order this some way alphabetically. For example, these are alphabetical so far. So C2, C4, C2, C4, and B1 first. B1. Let's do alphabetical, and I might use the function we did in the previous kata. So from G3 you can jump to, in alphabetical order, E2, E4, F1, F5, oopsie, H1, and H5. And those are 6. And now to test one with 8, we can go to the center, for example, E4. And there you can jump to, in alphabetical order again, C3, C5, yes, D2, D6, F2, F6, G3, and G5. All right. So first I'm gonna do this jumps function. Jumps is not defined. Terrible. Let's do jumps. Var jumps. All right. Oh, 1 second. No. Yeah, okay, I'm fine. Okay, let's do jumps. I think we're gonna repeat what I did in the previous kata. Have them all, you know, create all the board, like all the squares, and filter. Something like that. So all the squares is gonna be B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and do a map where each square I'm going to take the rows one. Let's call that the column. Yeah. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm gonna call that the row with what? For each column and for each row, I'm gonna return this. So now for each column I have all the values. So now I join everything, and this is a string, so I can split by the comma, and those would be all squares. So if I just return all squares, jumps, by the way, receive the night position. So let's say square, or from, oops, sorry, like this, from. Now let's return all the squares. All the squares there. Oh, I didn't. Oh no, yes, I did right. I'm gonna pass in this, taking this, and receiving all. And now I'm gonna filter. Filter can reach from to all squares filter square can go, let's say. And I need that function, can go. So these are all the squares, and now we're going to have the can go function, which receives from and to, and now it's a different thing. It's not like with the queen, but it's similar at the beginning. They have to be different from, has to be distinct from to, and then we have a series of OR conditions. And again, I can probably use the char code add stuff, but in this case I think I'm gonna do it in a better way. So basically you can go from one square to another if you calculate the difference between the first, the rows, and the difference in columns. One of them has to be 2 and the other has to be 1. So if you take both differences in positive, no, I think I will have to check those. Maybe this is not the best way to do it. Maybe I'm just over coding here. Okay. So I need to calculate 4 values basically, which are this. So I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna calculate all those 4 values and pass them to this function. Don't know how to call them though. Let's say f0, f1, t0, and t1. And the idea is here I don't like this, what I'm doing. I need to check that 1 is 2. Okay, let's do it. So it's something like this, and f1 minus t1 is equal to 1, and this is only one case. But we will have like 4 cases, I think. So it's either that or -2, or so it's either 2, 1, or oh no, there are 8 cases. No, then I'm doing it wrong, because if I'm going to do 8 cases, I could better calculate the eight destination squares. I wanted to do a mathematical thing here. Okay, this is a terrible way to code it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, let's say 2, 1, 2 minus 1, minus 2, 1, minus 2, minus 1. All right. Oofda. Lol, B3C2 instead got B3C2. Okay, A3C3D2 instead got A3C3. Okay, at least I'm doing them right. I remember I was trying to find out a mathematical way to describe possible destination squares without any outside help, but I failed. Okay, I got the solution. I have the test wrong. The test is wrong. The code is well, right. I mean, it's terrible, but it works. So assert equals doesn't work, and I think CodeWorks has something to test arrays. How can I see? Please read the test framework documentation. Okay, let's go there. Got it. I need to read the documentation because I think there's some assert deep equals or something like that. Let me grab more coffee. It's 5:36. I usually sleep at 8, so I'm fine. I'm fine for the moment. JavaScript, where are the tests? Reference, language and test frameworks. Languages with test supports. Random testing in JavaScript. Well, not exactly what I wanted, but maybe it has an example of an array equals. We have a random assert equals, assert similar. We have an assert similar. Test assert similar. Interesting. What is the documentation on these asserts? Reference. I think I've read it somewhere. So let me see the tutorial on creating your first kata, because I think I've read it. Maybe I read it when I created katas. In some of the examples we had this, but not here, it seems. No. Best practices, ranking, discourse collection privileges, random testing, list of possible, list of kata, list of markdown formatting, kata trainer, kata creator, languages, tests, and frameworks. It has to be that. So I'm gonna try with the assert similar. But similar, I think it's just to not check the type, but check the value or something like that. Not for arrays, but I'll try anyway. Let's see if this works. Okay, that was it. Now, I had a test which wasn't in alphabetical order, this one. Big one has to be before B5. Before B5. Pun not intended. Okay, and now I should be passing those tests. Right. Right. So we have jumps, although this part of the function, oof. We better move on fast on it. And let's go to the explore, part, this part. Okay, so for every square that we're exploring, square, we're gonna get jump, square. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to type anymore. Jumps, I call it jumps. All right. So we have this set of squares we're exploring, and for every one of them, each of them, we're gonna have the set of new places to jump to. And then we need to join all of them. So we do this, we join all of them, and we split with commas to have all the squares. And then I'm gonna do the trick to do the uniqueness, which is filter that, having the square list and no, sorry, square index and list. I think that's the filter. You want me to use unique? I wanted to do this trick. JavaScript filter. Yeah, I should use unique. If it exists, it's better. Unique new set array. Current value index and array. Yes, so it's how I thought. So list index of square equals index. Okay, I filtered it. Then I will improve it with your solution, I think. So I have this new set, and explored has to be what we already explored concatenated. How do you concatenate? Can you push all? Can you hide tests? Oh, sorry, I thought I hidden them. Sorry, my bad. So I need to concatenate the current. So how do you do that? Is there a push all array? Array merge? No. JavaScript concatenate arrays. I'm sure there's a concat method, or a push all, or add all. Concat, array prototype concat. All right. Okay. Now, if when we're exploring, we don't find it in the current, we're going to explore recursively and then return 1 plus that. Otherwise, we would return 0 always. Wow, did we finish our code? I think you can also use spread operator again. Spread operator. Okay, let me uncomment all the tests and see how this explodes. Whoa! All the tests passed, guys. Whoa! All the tests have passed. Makes code a little bit cleaner. Okay, let's clean up the code a little, because we solved the problem already. R push. Ah, you mean the 3 dots? Yeah. Okay, let me try that. Now that the tests are in green. Oops, not that. This. Something like that? Nope. Oh, push is not a function? Wait, explore is an array. It should have push. Ah, no, the result is not an array. So it's in the recursion. So I'm not using the proper syntax here. Okay, I mean, concat is not terrible. What is terrible is this trick I did here for the uniqueness. So JavaScript unique in array, or remove duplicates. Let's improve the code a little. And I didn't like the part of calculating the jumps. Using the third parameter of the filter. This is going to be my trick. I don't like that. Here is your solution. Here is your solution. And this is what I did, basically. Filtering, using A, I use it as the third parameter here. But yeah, returning the index has to be the index. Yeah, the index of has to match the Actually, this is the solution I did with self as the third parameter. Hash tables to the rescue. Wow, the best from two worlds. A function unique that sorts and wow. Okay. So you say that if I do this with my array, we're gonna have it. Yeah, it's not just a one-liner, it's also I think the most readable way for a software developer, for a coder, because you know what a set is if you're a coder. So I think it makes sense. Explored is an array. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So maybe this is the part that I like the least of this part over here, but it's very readable, however. I like this. Explore, we're exploring this current, I might call it current set, an explored set, maybe, to differentiate the type from target. But okay, the way it is, I read it very, very clearly. If current includes target, then we're done. Otherwise, we have one more step and we explore this, which is the least readable, with this target, and explored, I concat the current. Current is also an array, yes. Explored, push, current. I tried that, but okay, I'm gonna show you. This doesn't work, but I think the problem is maybe I need... Okay, this, I think it doesn't work. We have a syntax error or something. Yeah, it says explored.push is not a function. That means explored is not an array. That means the result of this is not an array at some point. So what about this? What about this? I mean, I'm trying to understand what's how does this syntax work? What is the spread operator? Why do I need it there? Okay, let's learn some JavaScript. I think I've never used it. Operador de propagación. Understanding the spread operator. In some cases, one of those values is not an array. Yeah, I guess so. Newer versions of JavaScript have brought vast improvements, blah, 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 the spread operator, blah, 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 blah. Images, slice, spread operators for arrays. So I have one array. Ah, okay, I understand. Okay, with this, I understand what it is. All right. I understand what it does. Huh. Yeah, but in the case of push, the problem is push accepts one element as parameter. The proper method push doesn't accept does not accept an array unless there's a push all, or we do a function. Yeah, a function that I would do with reduce probably to keep pushing all. But I think just concat is pretty clear. It's exactly what we want. We have two arrays we want to concatenate. So I like concat. I think it shouldn't work if I understood what the spread operator is. But okay, it doesn't work, as you can see. Anyway, I like concat. I think concat is the collection version of push. Push is to push an element. Concat is to push all of this. So I like concat. Now this part here, let me read it again. We create a new set with currents where each square we go to any of those jumps, and okay. Okay, not bad, not the worst. What is the worst is this part over here to calculate the jumps. I highly dislike this function I did here. Also, I'm thinking, yeah, during the coding I thought there might be a better way to solve this problem. How do we do this? Like a clever way, very clever, like very stupid at the same time, like not coding at all. If only I understood. How to do this? You know, given two squares, you have always the same solution. So maybe you can just calculate the distance between every pair of squares and then return it. Okay, it doesn't matter. No, I think we did a good kata here. Should I improve this part? I feel like I should. I feel like I don't want to submit this code. This formula here that says if I can reach one square from another with an I jump. I want to improve this function. I mean, of course, I can do less conditions if I use the absolute value. Maybe I should do that. Remember, I was trying to somehow get the squares by getting plus. You were getting the squares, but then you need to check if you're out of the board. Okay, I can simplify these conditions. Sometimes people use like a 10 per 10 board representation. Yeah, I know, OJ. The problem is with night jumps, you need 11. Oh no, 10 per 10. Yeah, 10 per 10 is okay. So you were saying 9 per 9. Yeah, but nah, I don't want that. No, what I'm gonna do is just use less conditions like this. Instead of 8 conditions, I'm gonna use 2, just 2 of them. And hopefully this still works. Yes, I didn't break anything. And I'm gonna just submit it like that. So yeah, either the difference in the first one is the column. So either the difference, yeah, now it's good, now it's perfect. Either the difference in columns is 2 and the difference in rows is 1, or the difference in columns is 1 and the difference in rows is 2. And that's going to be my function. Yeah, I'm not going to do more. Okay, and yeah, and I like how this final part I like this. I like this. I don't really like the jumps function, but I like the explorer function. I think it's pretty readable. If current, maybe current, I can find a better name for that. But I don't want like to put like current squares or current set. Maybe that's too long. Okay, let's leave it like that. Let's submit this, and hopefully I will pass the tests. Yes, wow, 1,334 tests passed. Whoa, current is fine. Yeah, those were a lot of tests. Submitting final solution. Okay. Yeah, I had fun with this puzzle, with this problem. But I'm done, guys. I'm done, and I think Joanna's still streaming, so I might raid her back. I'm done for tonight. I'm done for coding and or chess, and yeah, I think some other day I will start this project, some open source project, and start coding on the stream. Yeah, so sad, OJ. You learned something? Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, let's go watch some chess now, right? I'll be streaming more tomorrow. See you guys. Bye, OJ. Bye, Malek.